Hi students, welcome to our channel. Now we are going to learn something about nutrition in plants from class 7 biology. I think so you learned in class 6 about food and also you learned about how food is essential for living organisms. And you also learned in class 6 about carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals. These are known as components of food and the components of food are called nutrients. Then what is nutrition? Let's see. Nutrition. It is a mode of taking food by an organism and its utilization by the body. Let's deal with that. Depending on the mode of nutrition, organisms are classified as two types, autotrophs and heterotrophs. Then what is meant by autotrophs? What is meant by heterotrophs? Let's discuss. Autotrophs. The organisms which can prepare their own food from simple inorganic sources such as CO2 and water. They can prepare their own food, so they are known as producers. So then what are the examples of autotrophs? Examples of autotrophs are plants and certain type of bacteria and algae. These are the examples of autotrophs. Then what is meant by heterotrophs? The organisms which cannot prepare their own food and depend on autotrophs for food. Then what? Then what are the examples of heterotrophs? Examples of heterotrophs are all the animals and including human beings. Let's see how plants are preparing their own food. Just now we had discussed about autotrophs. Autotrophs can prepare their own food. Then how autotrophs can prepare their own food? Let's see. Photosynthesis. What is meant by photo? Photo means light. Synthesis means preparation of food. In our home, we need some ingredients to prepare food. In the same way, plants also need some raw materials to prepare their own food. Here, what are the raw materials? CO2 and water. See, here the roots. The roots will absorb water and minerals from soil and transport it into the leaves through vessels. Here, there is a green pigment in the leaves called as chlorophyll. The chlorophyll absorbs the sunlight, and here leaves are the food factories of the plant. The leaves will prepare the food. So all the raw materials should reach the leaves. Here, so all the raw materials should reach the leaves for the preparation of food. From the roots, these are absorbed. From the roots are absorbing. The roots are absorbing water and minerals from soil and transporting it to the leaves. Here they are transporting through vessels. Then how CO2 enters into the leaves? See, the CO2 is present in the air. The CO2 is present in the air. It enters into the leaves through stomata, which are known as, it has tiny pores, and these are surrounded by guard cells. Let's see. Here you are seeing the diagram. Here the stomata. This is known as stomata, and these are surrounded by guard cells. During the process of photosynthesis, plants utilize CO2 and water in presence of sunlight and produce carbohydrates and release oxygen. Carbohydrates is nothing but starch. So here we can tell chlorophyll is necessary for the process of photosynthesis. Then we know that chlorophyll is a green pigment. So the leaves are present in, we know that the chlorophyll is present only in green colored leaves. Then some you have might observe some leaves are in red, yellow or white colored leaves. These leaves also carry out photosynthesis. Yes, these leaves also carry out photosynthesis. But they appear in red, yellow, violet color leaves because they mask the chlorophyll and they appear in different colors. So now you can understand this in a simple way. So if you want to know it, you should do iodine test. Already you did in your previous class. It is very simple. Okay. By iodine test you can know that the red, yellow and violet color leaves also carry out photosynthesis. Synthesis of plant food other than carbohydrates. We already seen that carbohydrates are produced during the process of photosynthesis. Then what about the other components of food such as proteins and fats? Carbohydrates are made up of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. But these are synthesized the proteins and fats. But proteins are nitrogenous substances. Then where do the plants get this nitrogen? Nitrogen is present in abundance in gaseous form of the air. However, plants cannot absorb these nitrogen in this form. Soil has certain bacteria which converts the gaseous form of nitrogen into usable form and release it into the soil. These absorbed by the roots along with water. So, however, the plants fulfill their requirements. Of nitrogen and synthesize proteins and fats. Still now we have discussed about the autotrophic mode of nutrition during the process of photosynthesis. Now we are going to discuss about other modes of nutrition in plants. You know that some plants do not have chlorophyll, so they cannot synthesize their own food. Such plants depend on the food produced by other plants. Example, cuscuta. This type of nutrition is called heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So it takes the ready-made food from the plants on which it climbs. The plants on which it climbs is called host. A cuscuta is also known as parasite. Insectivorous plants. There are few plants which can trap insects and digest them. Such insect-eating plants are called insectivorous plants. Example, pitcher plant. You can see in the given diagram. In this plant, the pitcher-like or jug-like structure is the modified parts of the leaf. The apex of a leaf forms a lid which can open and close the mouth of the pitcher. Inside the pitcher, there are hair-like structures. When an insect lands in the pitcher, the lid closes and the traps the insect gets entangled into the hair. The lid closes and insect is trapped. The insect is digested by the digestive juices secreted in the pitcher and the nutrients are absorbed. So this type of plants are called insectivorous plants. I think so you can understand easily. The saprophytes. You might have seen packets of mushrooms sold in the market. You might have also seen brown and green patches on bread when we leave it in a moist place. When these organisms are called fungi, they absorb the nutrients from the bread. This mode of nutrition in which organisms take in nutrients from dead and decaying matter is called saprophytic nutrition. Such organisms with saprotropic nutrition are called saprotrophs. You can see in the given diagram. How nutrients are replaced in the soil. You learn that plants absorb nutrients and minerals from soil, so their amounts of the soil keep on declining. So fertilizers and manures contain nutrients such as nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, etc. These nutrients need to be added for time to time to enrich the soil. Usually crop plant absorbs a lot of energy, so soil becomes deficient in nitrogen. Bacterium called rhizobium lives in the roots of the peas, beans, gram and legumes and provide them with nitrogen. In return, plants provide food, shelter to the bacteria. This type of mutual relationship is called symbiosis. So, there are different types of mode of nutrition in plants. Thanks for watching our video. Please like and subscribe the channel.